Okay, this is lesson 6.3. 6.3 is vector translations. First thing you need to know is that a vector is a quantity that has magnitude and directions. If I haven't shown you the clip about vector, this character here, remind me to do so, please. So, first of all, a vector shows us how far, that's the magnitude piece, and what way or direction that we translate a figure. So understand, we talked about translating in our last lesson. We're still talking about translating, but the notation they give us is sometimes a vector, and being that it's an arrow pointed in one direction, it will hopefully help us remember that we are still sliding. And what you do is you count the boxes right or left and up or down from the endpoint. So every vector is going to have an arrow telling you which direction it goes in, and it's going to have an endpoint. So vector AB has an endpoint right here, where there's no arrow, and we can see that it's going in that direction, meaning it's going to the right, but it's also pointing up. So like we did with our last lesson when we counted direction to figure out how far and in which direction to translate, the practice down here is based on this image. Tell the magnitude and direction for each vector shown here. So this is the symbol talking about vector AB. It's the same symbol that we would use if we were talking about an array. And basically what we just said is, it's not going to the right, it's going to the left, 2 boxes, and it is going up 3 boxes. So just like we learned in our notation for written directions, we're still giving the directions right or left and how many, and then up or down and how many. And again, we counted from the end point over and up to get to the tip of that arrow, which is the direction that they're telling us to go in. So remember, in the X direction, left or right, if we have to go to the left, that's headed towards the negative numbers, so we have to say -2. And in the Y direction, remember we're going up, so that is a positive. All your positive numbers are up, and it would be a Y plus 3. Okay, that was called your mapping notation. And then we had another notation using a capital T. T stands for translate. And again, you will just take the numbers. -2 is our X direction. +3 is our Y direction. And you write them as subscripts down below the capital T. The other vector that I gave you to practice is CD. C is the end point where we start, since there's no arrow there, and since it's pointing in this direction, we can see that it is moving to the right. Looks like 5 boxes this time. And in order to get to the very tip of that vector, we do need to go up 1 box. So in written directions, that's what it would look like. In the mapping directions, in the X direction, since it's to the right 5, we would say +5. And since it is up 1, we would say +1. And then with the T notation, we would just grab the +5, comma, +1 written as subscript. So again, vectors have magnitude and direction. It's really just an arrow that tells us which way we're translating. And we still have to count the amount that we're translating right or left, as well as up and down. And it gives us a chance to practice that notation that we learned about yesterday. Written, mapping with the XY, and then with the capital T. So on the other side of your note sheet, we have a couple practice problems to work on. The first one says we're supposed to translate triangle ABC along vector FG. You can see vector is down here. It's got the end point, it's got the arrow pointing, and it moves everything a small amount. So our job is to figure out exactly how much. Notice we do have a second piece where we're also translating that image along this other vector here. So we need to figure out which vector is going to move us and how much. So first of all, vector FG, we should have the symbol above it, is translating. If you look, it's moving us to the right 2. And that's not all. It is also moving us up. I believe it's 3. 1, 2. Yep, go to the very tippy top of the arrow. And if we put it in the notation, that means X plus 2 and Y plus 3. And then we would just grab the 2 and the 3 for our subscripts on the T notation. And then to actually move the triangle that you've been given, remember every point has to move the same amount in the same direction. So according to this, to the right 2 and up 3 would put our new point here for A prime. Over 2, up 3 would put B prime here. Remember, we use A prime, B prime, C prime for our image. We always want our image to be slightly different than the original because it's not in the same location. Remember, we've moved it. So it is going to be A prime, B prime, C prime because it's an image. Again, it's the same size and same shape because we moved everybody the same amount. And then if you look at what it also wanted us to do, then we're translating this image along vector JK. So vector JK also slides us to the right, but this time it's to the right 3. And it's only up 1 to get, again, from the end point to the tippy top of the arrow is how we get our directions for our vector. So again, it's positive 3 because you're going to the right. It's positive 1 because you're going up, and then we just grab the 3 and the 1. Now remember what it said. The triangle originally gets translated using this vector, so we moved it over and up. I'm going to do this one in green so you can see that we're taking this image, A prime, B prime, C prime. We're moving this over 3 and up 1. Over 3, up 1, over 3, up 1. Remember, each point has to move the same amount so that it ends up being congruent. Same size, same shape. Notice how I'm labeling. My final image has got 2 little tick marks on it. This is because it's the second thing we did with our transformation. We slid it first using the vector FG, and then we slid it again using vector JK. So that's why we have to name the second image A double prime, B double prime, and C double prime. The last problem on the bottom I'd like you to take a look at. You are translating this 4-sided figure along first vector GH and then along vector JK. So go ahead, pause this video, try it on your own, and then go ahead and hit play so you can check your work. Okay, to check the first part of this problem, it says we're translating this 4-sided figure along vector GH. GH is strange because you are only translating it down 2. There's no right or left movement. So in my description, I said we're moving it over 0, but down 2. And that's going to make the mapping notation look like this, x plus 0, y minus 2. And then, of course, your t notation has the 0 and the negative 2. It literally moves every point in our original figure down 2. And then we can look at the second part of the problem. They want us to translate along vector JK. Vector JK, if I counted right, moves us towards the arrow, which is to the right 5. And then from this corner, it is up 2. So x plus 5, y plus 2. And of course, your t notation has the 5, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 2. Remember that your second image is going to be labeled A double prime, B double prime, C double prime, and D double prime. And I think this is supposed to be a D right here for the first one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. If your shape is the same size, if it's the same shape, that means they're congruent, and that means you did your translation correctly. For question 3, it says, what single translation would move figure ABCD, the original one, onto the second image that we just created, the green one, A double prime, B double prime, C double prime. So if we just had to move from A onto A prime, it looks to me like we would only have to move to the right 5. Did we move it up or down any? No, we did not. So I guess you could say up 0 if you wanted to for your verbal directions. For your mapping directions, your points would all say x plus 5, but your y directions wouldn't go anywhere, so you could say plus 0. And for your t notation, you would just put a 5 and a 0 here as your subscripts. So now that you have all this practice done on vectors, you can go ahead and tape it into your notebook. Review what we talked about, where you would count the boxes from the end point of the arrow to the point of the arrow in the direction that it's pointing so that you can get your notation down correctly. And then you have a practice sheet to work on once this is taped in.